This is One on One.
I would be king, and you would be my queen.
This is Paul Green, the founder of the Paul Green Rock Academy. He is also the founder of the original School of Rock. What were we just looking at?
You were looking at some videos of my kids from Woodstock, New York, where I spent. I'm back in Philly now, but I lived in Woodstock for like 5 years.
Did they ever have any people get together and play music in front of other people back in the day?
They did. They did.
How'd
They
that
tried to
work
do
out?
it in Woodstock, but they lost their license a month before.
Get outta
And the
here.
actual Woodstock Festival was about an hour and a half away. So when you live in Woodstock, these like middle-aged tourists, and middle-aged is kind,
Yes.
with fanny packs are like, where was the festival?
Oh,
And
that
we're
is the best.
drive down this road for an hour and a half and make a left, you know, so.
Is Yasgur's farm? Never mind. That's another.
Yasgur's
Oh,
farm.
I'm sorry. I just dated myself. So tell us about, first of all, explain the difference between the original School of Rock and the Paul Green Rock Academy.
Excellent question. I started School of Rock in 1998 as a senior at the University of Pennsylvania. I was on my way to law school.
You're originally from Philly.
Originally from Philly.
Congratulations on the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
We're a little bit past that, but
We
congratulations.
all worked really hard to make that
Yes,
happen.
you did.
So, and School of Rock was founded in my living room in 1998, under my watch and with a couple partners and a lot of staff.
What was the idea?
Okay, so I'm teaching guitar in my living room, and I love teaching guitar. Most guitar players who teach do it begrudgingly, but I was the opposite. I liked teaching more than I liked loading equipment at 3 a.m.
Right.
So I really liked it. So I actually put my heart and soul in it. And I noticed the most obvious fact, but kids who practiced got good at guitar.
Amazing how that happens.
Kids who didn't practice didn't get good. And more importantly for me, the kids who practiced were more fun to teach. So I started having the kids, to motivate them, do jam sessions on the weekend. And they started getting so much better from just playing with each other that I actually put on a show with them. And then I noticed like the secret to like, imagine being on a baseball team and never playing games. That's what music education was like before School of Rock.
You just practiced.
Just practice. And School of Rock said, okay, November 8th, you're playing a show. And it was the most amazing motivating factor because most of the kids worked really hard, got to that show, got a little of this, which is the most beautiful sound in the world.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We need a little recognition.
There you go, yeah. So, and the kids who didn't practice saw the kids who did.
Wow.
And decided not to make that mistake. And from that, my apartment, and you know, until I left the company in 2010, we grew to 57 locations all across the country. They're up to like 140 now.
Wow.
But so I moved to Woodstock. I've been up there for the last. It's funny you mentioned the Woodstock Festival with Michael Lang and Steve Vai and a couple other really great people. We've been working on a music college
A music college?
called Woodstock Music Lab, which is my long play.
Right.
And while I was there, I missed teaching kids, so I started the Paul Green Rock Academy. It has a location up in Woodstock, and then, because I'm easily bored,
Yes.
I'm a little punk rock kid from Philly from the
Yes.
80s. I said, what's the most punk rock thing I can do in my 40s? So I'm back in law school.
Oh, well, and you, by the way, I heard you're back in Philly.
I'm back in Philly. I was accepted to the Temple University Beasley School of Law.
Good for you.
Because I learned along the way, you know, I'm both an entertainer and an entrepreneur. They need better lawyers. I wish I would have known then what I know now as I was building and selling a company.
That's so interesting.
Nothing too regretful, but like when you're doing deals, you're like, here's this thing that I don't want or need.
I hear you.
Oh, by the way, now I want or need it, you know?
So I'm fascinated by your experience as an entrepreneur, your imagination, your vision, your passion for helping kids. I'm also curious about your sense of music appreciation or in public schools. Where is the place, and is it becoming diminished, the commitment to educating kids around music? Long-winded question, I know.
It's cyclical. I believe the word is cyclical.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
I don't correct people.
Right now, we're not in a very rock-heavy world. But that was also true in the late 80s and the late 90s.
Yeah.
Then, and then Nirvana changed everything in the 90s. Jane's Addiction before them.
Yeah.
Then the White Stripes and the Strokes brought rock music back in the early 2000s. And you're starting to see it now. So right now, I had this real sort of, awakening moment. The first day of law school, my contract professor, asked every kid to send in their favorite or most important song in their life. And then he played a 2-second loop of them. 60 kids, 60 24-year-olds mostly. Only 3 of the songs were rock songs.
That's it.
It was all Beyonce and hip hop.
Did they know who you are?
You know what? I went in and not telling them, but slowly but surely they figured it out. And
You're the man.
I thank you.
I don't know if they appreciate or understand it, but you are the man. Like you had a vision and you executed it.
Yes.
You may have regrets about some things you could have done differently if you had a better, whatever, but you did it.
Thank you, Steve. And yeah, so it's so they've kind of figured it out. But law school game, like to most of the kids that I go to school with, I'm crazy Uncle Paul. You know, and like when they're all stressed out, when they're all stressed out about the finals, I said, kids, I've had actual cases, franchise cases argued in front of the Third Circuit Court of Appeals.
That's pressure.
Yeah,
that's pressure.
That would set our entire precedent for
or not be able to make payroll. That's pressure. Not that we understand that in public broadcasting every 2 weeks. We get it. Listen, Paul Green, the founder of the Paul Green Rock Academy, the founder of the original School of Rock.
Yeah.
You have making a difference to a lot of people every day, particularly young kids. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great job.
You too.
Made my job easy. Thanks.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Summit Medical Group, Wells Fargo, the New Jersey Education Association, Caldwell University, Kessler Foundation, the New Jersey Office of the Insurance Fraud Prosecutor, and by Choose New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.